Hey guys, welcome back. So last time we discussed about tool calls and how that improves the chatting system. So in this time, what I want to discuss about are the challenges that we faced while implementing this architecture. So one of the challenges was grounding with Google search because okay. So there, as I written here, there are two cases that I wanted to fix. One is whatever the user has queried about, the system may not have info on that. As in, like maybe he has asked about a cafe in Goa, and you have no video stored about Goa or that particular cafe, but it is an intelligent system, so it should not turn the user down, but it should basically get an answer like ChatGPT does or any other intelligent system does. So the best thing would to get the data from internet, so using a Google search probably. And second thing that Google search does is supplementing with internet, as in, like, even if you have some kind of data, maybe it is missing some gaps. Like you know about the cafe in Goa from the video information from the RAG, but you don't know at which time it opens, which time it closes, if it is open now or if it is a closing season, opening season. So all this kind of data I would like to have supplemented with Google search. But the issue was I cannot have Google search and tool calling in the same function. So Gemini 1.5 Flash doesn't support both of them together, and I could have upgraded to 2.5 Flash, sorry, 2.5 Pro, and it supports both of them. But or I could have gone for additional systems or third-party packages which allow me to perform the search. But that was one, it was the additional complexity. Second, it also meant price implication, and didn't think it was necessary at that point of time, so I skipped it. What I did was to ground it with Google's internal Gemini inherent information. So what does that mean is Gemini has already been trained with tons of data, right? And even if it cannot do a Google search, it can accurately, not accurately, but make a pretty good guess on about the data. So even if, let's say, if I ask him about the flight ticket cost from India to Dubai, it may not give me the exact flight ticket cost, or whatever data it gives will be a bit off. But because Gemini is getting constantly updated with new training data, whatever response it gives me will most likely be in the ballpark of a correct response, which is good enough for now. Second part is the hallucination. So I've seen Gemini hallucinate sometime, and that can be fixed with RAG. That's what we have implemented. And but still, without a clear system prompt and configuration, it is there's a very good chance of hallucination. So it still happens, and I still need to take care of it. So we have solved 80 to 90% of the test cases, but there still remains some of the edge cases that needs to be taken care of. Third is need for testing and improvement of system prompts and tool calling. So it is very hard to test out how the Gemini works because there are so many permutation combination of things that you can ask, and you have to print the logs and see if the correct tools were called, how many times it was called, what parameters was passed, and if the response was correct. Even if it was not correct, then you have to tweak the system prompts, fix anything that is broken, and then rerun it on all the questions again. And after that also, because I am working as a developer and I feel I have a pretty bias towards my system, I know a lot of things. So some of the edge cases may not never come to me. So that's why it is very important to have third party users, and especially non-tech people, especially demography of people who will be actually be using your app, to test out the app so that you can actually know what the user will be searching for or what the user will be chatting about. So to give you an example, I gave this app to my friend, and he was chatting about this place in Goa, and in between of that, he just goes and says, "Ki, give me a song about this place." So the app, it handled it. It is not because it's a intelligent system. It was able to handle it, but it didn't handle it as gracefully as it should have. So those are some kind of loopholes. So this is about the challenges of the chat system. Next up, we will talk about the decision making, what went into deciding which framework, which AI we will be using. So stay tuned for that. Thank you.
See you later. Take care.